everyone, my name is Tiara Menavar.
I'm Alexandra Barossa.
And we're starting a vlog. Because it's not...
It is a vlog.
It's like a docu vlog. I know I am doing my regular thing on Sunday now, where I publish what I call, like journal entries, introspective kind of things. What are you working on?
I'm working on creating an online course that teaches you how to sew a costume in 6 weeks. And I'm kind of in the process of creating it and building it and launching it right now. And so on my end, I wanted to kind of document what it looks like to have two people who are kind of launching new creative things, what that looks like, preparing it and getting it out there and surviving while we're doing it.
Survival is the key word here. We're surviving. Thriving.
I really enjoy like those really boring day-to-day vlogs. I watch them a lot.
I think it is one of those important things for me to try to make behind the scenes stuff. And I love documenting things. Mm-hmm. I mean, I was a part of a documentary team, and I always am really drawn to behind the scenes stuff, like watching like fashion shows and the whole fashion industry and the behind the scenes of like photo shoots. I would love that stuff. And movies.
Yeah, I love all those behind the scene things and seeing what it takes to put together a show or a movie. And I think there's something to be said too for putting ourselves out there and in my case selling things or just showcasing things and having some kind of personal connection to it. I feel like if we're in it and we've watched this person create this from the beginning, then when the time comes, it feels like we're kind of a part of it, and it makes it a lot more interesting and exciting.
And for me, like, I think something I'm learning in this season and the stuff that I'm really writing into is appreciating the ordinary. Mm-hmm. And it is one of those things where I'm like, well, why would we share any part of like?
Because it's exciting.
But see, but it is so ordinary. Like, who cares about your morning coffee? But then so many people are like, that's nice.
Yeah.
It's that beauty in the ordinary things, and a lot of what we do feels so ordinary. But you fuse it together, and it becomes like its own extraordinary and unique thing, because it's you and it's different from everyone else. And so I think that's the part that's stretching for me and a little bit outside of my comfort zone in this way. It's so funny because I'm like, I'm gonna make these things, it's not gonna be that difficult, I'm gonna just try not to be perfectionistic about it. And it's hard for me to be okay with how ordinary my life is, but that's the point. I think that's the point right now.
Yeah. Well, I think in this day and age too, it's important to see if I'm putting myself out there, I'm launching something. If you're launching your own brand, I think a lot of times as with social media, it feels like these are people who are very different from you and I. I'm like door dashing and donating plasma to pay for my course, you know what I mean? like we're living this post-COVID, life just like anyone else, and trying to put out our visions, our creations and things like that. And I just think it makes it a lot more real and a lot more personal when we're like, hey, we do this too. We shop at Costco.
Tell them a little bit more about like big picture for you, like the thing that you want to do.
So big picture, I am wanting to hopefully get this course and kind of a series of courses after this. I'd really like to focus on costuming within the theater industry, because that's my background. And I want to get it to where it's able to financially support me and kind of get on my feet. So that I'd love to start my own theater company eventually, and that's kind of my big 10-year goal. Hopefully less than 10 years, but it's a big undertaking. About a good 10, 15 years ago, I kind of had my own little space on the internet where I just nerded out about costumes and theater and film, and I've kind of had this journey of this evolution of like trying to not be so weird, and then like coming back around and being like, I just need to embrace it and do this.
Weird is cool.
So so this is kind of the real like launch into that of just being like, okay, like this is who I am. And I think that the vlog is going to show that, because the person I portray in public is not always the person I am behind closed doors.
Yeah, you're good.
That's kind of been my big picture. And so what about yours?
Good question. You know, it's so funny because I am a person who used to dream like big. I don't know. I don't even know what to tell you, but now I think they're smaller. Just what can I actually do? And not to limit myself, but it is one of those things of what is my reality? I don't see, like, you have a 10-year thing, and I think that has changed for me in the past.
Well, I will say that took me like 10 years to figure out a 10-year thing. Like, I think that's a journey. You don't wake up one day and you're like, this is what I want to do. Like, it took a lot of exploring. I went through a lot of different paths before I figured out this is what I wanted.
But see, like, I feel like I've been, like, exploring, like, so much, you know? And I still sometimes feel like, is this doable? So, the is this doable question for me right now is, could I make a docu-series about pilgrimages? That is something that I'm really interested in right now. So, like, before writing about the new collection thing that I'm doing for Tiara's journal, and doing the lamentations and revelations and celebrations that I'm kind of launching out, which is gonna be months. I have a lot. But before that, I thought it was gonna be a new film project. I was gonna go to the Camino de Santiago. It's one of the most famous pilgrimages, and kind of document and write about that experience. You know, that's something I still want to do. I don't know what it's gonna look like at this point. So that is, I feel like that's where I'm going. It's really about seekers, like seeking, like what people, we are on a search, and I'm always interested in our inner search. It's not people looking for the next big thing or the next star, like, you know, American Idol, people are looking for the next big pop star. And I think there are some of us who are on that search for a little bit more peace with ourselves, or like acceptance of ourselves and our gifts, our place in the world, our purpose, our mission. We're all on the search of God and community and belonging. I don't know what that means, you know, so I just know the next stuff I'm interested in, and I'm kind of leaning into that. 10 years from now, I've made so many plans that have changed, and I just don't know anything anymore. Even the person I thought I was becoming is just turned around hardcore. And that's why I feel like I really need to share this, because you just think you're gonna be this one thing, and then you realize what I truly value in my heart is totally something else. But that's the cool part. That's the digging for that treasure is that's what's next. Ali's always like, you know, when you do the, like, I don't know, you're like, maybe not selling it well, but I'm just like, I don't know. I don't. So if you also don't know, this is the perfect place for you. But I do believe that the search is what is important.
Yeah.
To go on the search for those things. And when you do find something, end the search and receive what you have found.
Yeah.
There are no shortcuts with it.
No, there's not.
There isn't.
Yeah.
It's a process of elimination.
Yeah. I agree with that. You know, there's plenty of times I wish that someone had told me in the beginning, I'm like, just pursue theater, that's what you really want to do. But I had to go through all these different things and different career choices, and then figure out what I wanted. So it takes time, and it's a journey, and you can't rush it. You're going on, but like, you don't know what it is yet. And I'm like, well, it's not going to come quicker just because you asked it to.
Yeah, that's true.
So.
You always say that. Like, it's still not going to show up, even if you're like, I demand your presence right now. So I think that's a good place to end this, kind of just giving you a bit of the big picture scope of how we are people, where we're trying to go, and then the little steps that follow with that, and just it's such a huge thing to be like, I'm gonna make a theater company, a docuseries, but how do we get there?
Yeah.
And it is like step by step, which is like, you know, you wake up and make coffee in the morning because that's how you fuel yourself. Step one. I think next time we'll talk about how we met.
Yeah.
And maybe a little bit of like the circles we've gone on in our search
here.
Here, which is like, what is here?
This present moment.
This present moment. Yeah. Welcome to the vlog. Is that what we're just gonna call it?
It's gonna be the vlog.
That's so boring. You need something like.
She's all about titles.
Titles are important. Okay, bye now.